the janitor may have a PhD.
Sure.
The CEO could have just gotten there because he's married to someone.
That is so true.
He's related to someone. So you really want to appreciate, get to know people. But you have to learn how to value others by valuing yourself first. Understanding yourself first.
Ndewono, Sanu, Ekabo. Thank you for joining us. We are back again with another episode, and I have my guest she's my mom's friend. So I'm calling in all the favors. I'm just kidding. But she's my neighbor, and I brought her on this show because she has this bubbly, lively personality that is just warm. Whenever she enters the room, she lights up the place. And I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I think I actually have told you. I asked you if you would consider being an animator or a voiceover artist. I have said it because the way you just, like I said, you bring warmth, but then you're very cartoonish. Like, you're jovial, you bring humor, and then you do different voices and you just get along. I was like, okay, I need to bring you here. But then I also, before we go into all that, I would say her name and then I'll let her introduce herself to you guys. So thank you for coming, Tsion. It's really nice to have you.
Thank you for the invitation.
You want to tell them, just a bit about you and, just go with the flow.
Okay, well, my name is Tsion Girma, or Tsion Girma. I live in Oakland, California currently. I was born in Ethiopia and raised in separate continents due to my father's work. He was an airline executive who moved around quite a bit due to work. So I've lived in Germany as a young person and moved to the United States in my early teenage life.
Okay.
So, and now I've lived in the United States since.
I'm jealous of you, and I think that a lot of people will be jealous of you because, we want to travel and see the world, and then you had to do that on someone else's expense, not even yours. Yes. So that's incredible. And the topic for today is grief. So she has lost both her parents, and then she also lost her elder brother.
Yes.
So I believe that she's in a position to talk about this. But before we delve into that, I would like to ask you, what is the thing that gives you joy?
Peace gives me joy.
Okay, that's an interesting answer.
Peace keeps me happy and gives me joy. Peace I bring to my life. No one is responsible for anyone's joy or happiness but the person. Other things that make me joy, that bring me joy is doing the things that make me happy. Waking up in the morning. I don't take it for granted that I wake up and I have, the place that I have, the life that I have, the job that I have, the car that I have. All that gives me joy. I don't take it for granted that if I crave a certain food and I actually go to the restaurant and I eat that food, I don't take it for granted. I'm very grateful. That brings me joy.
Okay.
So it's the simple things, the everyday things that bring me joy. Nothing major.
Okay.
Like it's not, something big.
But that's
the everyday.
Yeah. Yes. And that's also consistent because, growing up between Ethiopia, Germany, and now the United States, where did you feel the most emotionally at home?
At home meaning Ethiopia? Or just at home in general?
At home in here.
Oh, at home in there, yes. And so it's been a challenge. The moving to Germany was due to my father's employment, as I mentioned. When I traveled there, my father had already gone ahead, set up, had a place for all of us. Then we left in groups, I should say, like my sister and my two brothers left first. Then it was myself, my mother, and my little brother that joined them. My father is very real in the way he presents life to me.
Okay.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything. How I choose, he always says, how you choose to understand it is on you. So when we went, it was pretty much a culture shock for me because leaving Africa as a child, I didn't understand different races because we're all Black.
True. Oh, I
We're
get
all
that.
Black.
Yeah,
So when we went to Germany, I'm seeing people that are different. I was curious. They were curious. So I made a lot of friends. I'd come home and tell my father and my mother. My mother was more of a protector. My father was more, I want you to know life. You can't be sheltered by, myself and my wife used to always say so, or your mom. So I want you to understand. I want you to be curious. I want you to have friends, but I need to know who they are. He took us around and introduced us. It was a shock. I'm not playing it lightly. It was very much a shock. In addition, what made it kind of difficult when we moved to Germany was that my father felt it was important that we learn English more than German. So he didn't put us in a German school. We were put in an English school that the airlines paid for, but it was on the Air Force base. So they had some type of an agreement between, I guess, the two countries. And we were bused into school to go on the Air Force base. It was Rhein-Main Air Force Base in Germany, in Frankfurt, Germany, but that no longer exists now, which is sad. So every single day we would go to school. Before we go in through the gates, the bus was stopped. The foreigners were removed. IDs were checked. We had to go back on the bus and then be put on the base. That for me was very interesting. I didn't feel different. I didn't feel like I was outcasted. I just found it interesting that every single day our identity had to be verified. And it was because it was during the Iran-Contras. It was a high-level security at that time. So before the Berlin Wall came down. I'm aging myself, but it's beautiful. Age is beautiful. So
it is.
So because of that, they had to be extra secure. So that was an experience itself. But I'm glad my parents made that decision because we learned English. German is not a language that is universal. English is. So yeah, that, and then learning English abroad in an American base, which is, American English, then we came to the United States. Just a few of us came to the United States. And the culture was different. The American culture was different. And I'm going to say this may be a little sensitive for a lot of people. I didn't know I was Black till I came to the United States.
Yeah. How, if you don't mind
I
me
was
asking, how
around 11, 12.
Oh, okay.
So I did not know.
There wasn't filtered.
There was a race.
Also, your thinking wasn't so filtered. You just say what comes to mind. I mean.
Yeah, but I came from Germany.
Yeah, true.
Where I should have felt it, but I didn't. And so that was extreme challenge for me. To be identified by race versus who I am. Nobody wanted to hear who I was. And I remember telling my dad, I said, am I Black? He said, you're African. I said, but they call me Black and they call me these things and stuff. So it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Long-winded, but
no, it's okay. I have the knowledge that you've lost both your parents and then you've also lost your brother. So hearing you speak, I would like to ask, what is your fondest memory of your parents? Let's start with them first.
Oh, I lost 4 brothers, by the way. The last
Wow.
one was my closest. Yeah, I lost 4 brothers total. And my parents, my fondest memory of my parents are the times that we spent together as a family.
In which part of the country or the world?
Well, in all countries from Ethiopia. Ethiopia, of course, is, cultural. So sometimes when you spend time together, other family members would join
True.
unannounced or,
Makes it more full.
unscheduled. Yeah. And then in Germany, there were a few of his friends, his colleagues that worked there. And we'd get together. But I'm talking about exclusive, just the family. My parents, my siblings, where we were unapologetically us. We didn't feel judged. We didn't feel like we had to explain ourselves.
Was there a specific memory you can draw from?
A specific memory I can tell you. It's a couple of them. One of them is we got together in the United States. My mother had not made it here. Her father was sick at that time, so she was back home. We got together. My sister and I are the only girls in the family, and we grew up with 7 brothers.
Wow.
And so at that time, no one had passed away. And so we got together. My father was there. My brothers were there. And the first thing they said was a 2-bedroom. And they said, no, the girls have to sleep on the bed. Everybody else, all the boys sleep on the floor. It's going to be 2 bedrooms. It's our dad and the girls. And so that didn't just make me feel like a loved sibling. It truly, truly showed me what my expectation is of how I should be treated.
As a lady.
I will never forget it. Yes. And then one of my brothers had a video running. He didn't tell us. And we were laughing, picking on each other. My father was laughing and he told us about it. We were together for 3 days. We didn't leave the home for 3 days. And it was beautiful. We ate, we drank, we talked, we asked questions. My father provided the best he could. No one was allowed, without words, no one was allowed to join us. Usually in our culture, people just stop by. Right? At that time, we didn't tell anybody where we were. It was just pure. It was just beautiful. And I treasure that. Yeah, so that's one of the times. Yeah, it's a good memory.
Okay.
It's a good memory. Even if I have tears as God gave me, tear ducts. So it's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just...
Is there a specific cultural way that Ethiopians honor their lost loved ones? Do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, so the culture for me is a little intense. It is. Because when you mourn, they don't want you to be alone. You mourn as a community. You just have to have people around you constantly to support you, to make sure your life is in order, to help you gather things, to help you, just get through life.
Keep functioning.
Yeah, for like a month. For me, that's a bit too much because, mourning is an individual thing. Loss is very individual. And I learned that in my family, we all lost the same person. We all mourned different. We all expressed ourselves different. And so having a distraction of having, family members, a group of people with you for weeks doesn't give you a chance to reflect on what happened. It's a distraction, but eventually they have to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, when I personally mourn, pretty much most of us in the family, we mourn in private. We mourn among each other. We don't, community or our friends know that we have no expectation of anybody coming. And they feel disappointed because it's against everything cultural.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's mourning is individual. It's a personal journey.
That's true.
It's a personal journey. Yeah.
Okay. So would you say that, that there are conversations that are left unsaid for the people you've lost, things that you'd have liked to say to them, conversations you'd have liked to have before they left, but that you didn't get the chance?
When I lost my first brother, Fasaha, we lost him in 2015. My sister was very close to him. There were things that I wish I could have told him. He, just to kind of describe who he is an extremely intelligent person who he did life his way.
Mm-hmm.
My father paid for university in the United States, put him through school, and he just felt like I need to do more with people that don't have.
Mm-hmm.
He was an amazing human being. And I wish I had told him that. That the decisions he made and the actions he took until this day helps me in my life. I wish I could have said that to him. And through that loss, because that was the first family member that I lost, then I decided I don't want to live in that regret. So I told the others.
It made you more expressive.
Yes, very expressive. Until today, somebody doesn't have to die for me to tell them I appreciate them. I don't use the word love because love can be complicated. Love doesn't necessarily express, but I will tell someone how much of their personality I like, how much of what they did helped me, because that's the one thing is the conversation is, I wish I had told him. I wish I had told him. My parents were willing to financially support any decision. He decided to live in a rural part of Ethiopia and be a teacher. I admired that about him. I admired it, and that's how our parents raised us, to be individuals. But he was amazing. I wish I had told him that. After that, I told all my siblings, my parents, I told them, I love them so much, what I love about them. And his death helped me,
I can actually say it, in all honesty, because it sounds like he made you appreciate people more.
Yes.
Be it close family, be it acquaintances, and someone else not knowing where that came from, that it came from pain, but then you're using it to share joy to others, because everyone going out would love to hear something positive about them coming from be it strangers or so that's beautiful to take away.
It is and so his death was not just a death, it birthed something in me, so it wasn't just a loss. And it helped me get through the rest.
So I know that your parents were, they had gotten to a certain age before you lost them. So I guess in a way, some people will say that when parents get to a certain age, you begin to expect that this is a possibility. I don't know if that's the situation with you and your family, but then is there a way that, did you guys plan and prepare, or it just hit you guys, the loss of your parents?
You can never plan and prepare.
You never plan and prepare.
Even my father was ill, never planned and prepared. Never. But never. No matter how old they are, it's so amazing because at that time it was death is unacceptable. How could that be? How could you take away something that you've given me? But death is the only way out of this family, or the only way out of this world, or out of this life. There's no other way to leave our existence without our heart stopping. Once I came to that realization, it was after my father passed, which was the darkest time. I had lost 2 brothers before losing my father, and my faith in God helped me walk through the mourning, walk through the loss, walk through explaining God's love for me. And you can never prepare, never. But you know what? As harsh as this may sound, I had to lose them to find who I am today. I've always been a happy-go-lucky person, you know? So it's like, you know, they say, give you lemons, you make a lemonade. That was me since a child. But it made me, you know, growing up, it was all about me. You know, it was like I was spoiled by my dad and everybody, because I was the youngest daughter. You know how they look at you and they give you everything. But now it's more, I'm still the same, but it's more about connecting with others for me, understanding others, giving grace to others. Because I don't look to have it my way. I look to have it so that I understand. So the death that I experience, each and every death, I've come to realize has also been a blessing. Because there's a part of me that God has brought to my attention. There is a part of me that helped others who were mourning, who were struggling. Mourning is just not about crying. It's like you have to reset and rebuild your internal self. Because you can never be who you were when you had that person in your life. So I had to kind of like restructure everything, rebuild everything internally, and understand that the death alone was not a loss, but it also birthed an opportunity for me. I'll give you an example. When my first brother died, I was worried about my parents. And I told my dad, I said, you know, I'm sorry you lost a son. You know, it's not just that I lost a brother, he lost a son, his favorite son. He admired him because this kid, his intelligence was unmatched, so that he was his favorite. He never had to worry about him in school, you know? And so we called our dad Gashi, and I said, Gashi, you know, I'm trying to deal with it. And he said, well, I don't know if he said this to help me. I believe this is just the way he thinks and the way he processes things. He said, he's gone, he's dead. He's with our Father. He's buried. You can't dig him up. You can't be buried with him. The best thing you could do is do something amazing with your life. Every negative should have a positive outcome. And I said, how do you have a positive outcome when you lose someone? He said, do something that you wanted to do that you didn't do.
That's incredible.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It took me a moment. And I said, Dad, I decided I'm going to quit my job. I'm not happy. He said, well, I didn't tell you to quit your job. I said, I'm not happy.
Don't be extreme.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, And I said, I'm going to quit my job. I mean, I'm not doing it today, but I'm going to start the steps. I'm not happy. He told me to do something, that makes me happy. And so the association that I have with my first brother's death is I got rid of the job that was killing me.
That wasn't fulfilling.
Yeah. So with every death, I did something. I brought something to my life. I introduced myself to a new me. Let's do something different.
You became a phoenix,
Yes.
as the Americans would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, my parents were amazing. Amazing. Considering that they grew up in Ethiopia and the culture that is so conservative, that requires you to walk the right line, to do things a certain way in order to be accepted. They always thought outside the box when it came to the children. And they had so many kids. And, but they did such an amazing job with all of us. We're all independent thinkers. We're all opinionated, We're all loud when we talk. We all love, and if we don't love, we tell you. We express ourselves very openly. And so that's all the blessing that our parents brought to us. So with every death, something good I brought to my life.
I was going to ask you this, but I was going to ask you that people have extremes when they lose a loved one or multiple loved ones. It's either they draw closer to God or they lose faith in God, right? I was going to ask you how you were able to draw closer to God. I kind of think I have an idea.
Yes.
But I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I'll just let you answer that, and then I'll tell you I'll find out if I clocked some of it, and so I'll just let you answer that.
Yes. And I'll tell you, God drew closer to me. He created a situation in my life in 2013. I call 2013 the best, worst year of my life. It was dark. I hadn't lost anybody yet. It was dark. There were so many things happening. There were so many challenges, and it didn't make sense. And God just made it so that He was the only one that I was going to look out to and just reach out to and ask for help, which I did. And I truly, truly can tell you that my life mission of building a relationship with God took a turn. And I was extremely happy. I was happy. It didn't happen overnight, but I would talk to God every day because my father, my parents would both say, my father growing up, he'd say, you don't love me, love him more than me. And I'm like, who's he? He'd point up and I'm like, who's he? And you said, don't say that. That's our father. I said, I've never met him. I love you. You don't love me? Why do you say that? And he goes, love him more than me. And I'm like, Mom, it's like, who is he? Because I was too young to understand God. But that came in handy when you're an adult. That goes to listen to your parents. But, and then my mom would say, with a pure heart, if you ask God for anything, He'll give it to you. But your heart has to be pure. And I'm like, what do I have to do? Wash my heart? What do I have to do? What do you mean by pure? It's being silly,
You see what I mean? You see why she's on the show?
You are too funny. And so she'd say, no, don't think negatively. Don't seek to hurt anyone. Be good and ask Him anything. And I'm a true believer. Somebody can give you advice. The advice is not going to make sense until it's supposed to make sense.
That is true.
But it's important that we listen. Like everything my parents told me, I'm like, Mom, Dad, you don't understand. But now it makes sense because this is when it's supposed to make sense, And I was talking about my brother and how I connected with God. So God pulled me towards him in 2013. I became very close, very, very close, to the point where every day I would ask for him. And I say, okay, God, I was in debt. I don't even know why I was in debt. I said, God, I need to get out of this debt. And I remember he put it in my heart. Debt is like being chained. So it was almost like he was telling me, let's work on it together. So every day I'd wake up and say, God, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And every day he'd tell me, do this, do this. Now, mind you, my financial advisor, my sister she wakes up understanding finance. So I'd go to her, she'd tell me, but I needed God to convince me, So I did what he asked me to do. I took a risk and I paid off all my debt. And I said, thank you, God. Then I felt at peace. And then I started leaning on him. Okay, now what? What do I do? Am I supposed to be in a relationship now? Is the person I'm supposed to be the person? Talk to me, And then it was just going, And by the time I lost my first brother, I think that's why it was easy for me to interpret death to have a different meaning than just a loss. You didn't just lose someone. There's another part of you that's going to be birthed. I don't know if that's even a word, but you're going to be birthed. A new you is going to come out. That didn't happen overnight. I had to cry. Sometimes I couldn't cry. My emotions took over. And I knew at the time when I knew God, I said, God, are you holding my hand? With every death, I said, are you holding my hand? Are you holding my hand? With my father's death, when my father passed, we had to fly. All of us had to fly. We didn't fly to bury my two brothers because back home, everyone's buried within 24 hours. But we made plans because he was already sick. And so we all flew together. He was the airline executive of Ethiopian Airlines. So we wanted to make sure we flew on that airlines. We told the staff who our father was. Some of them knew him. He had retired. Some of them didn't know him. So they just, they shared stories with us. Prior to us getting on that plane, though, I told everyone, my brothers were there, my sister and I flew together from here. I told them, I just need to be alone. I just need time. I walked away and all of a sudden I had this need to go into a perfume store, like the duty free. I walked into the perfume store and something kept telling me, buy the scent that you love. Buy the scent that you love. And I'm like, I keep getting this thing. People say, like, does God really talk to you that way? He's not going to come knocking or calling you. He's not going to say, I'm here. But it's your gut that talks to you, your internal, that talks to you. And so I said, okay, I'll buy. And I bought a perfume. I, did a scent test with all of them. The one that I loved, I bought. I said, give me the biggest bottle. Then I walked down. I remember my brothers asking me, are you okay? What is that in that bag? And I said, oh, I bought a perfume. My little brother came to me and he said, do you know why we're going back home? Because I was so close to my dad, they thought I had just for a moment lost it. And I said, yeah, I know. He said, why are you buying perfume? I didn't want to explain why. And so I said, I just have it. So they all became, our family was like that, very knit, very close. So we're all there to protect each other. So they all of a sudden, it's like giving me a hug and kissing my forehead and, is she okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. When we get there, it's a different story. But then we landed. we went straight to back home. Bodies are not put in freezers in a corner, but they have that available. So we made an arrangement with my siblings that were there to make sure our father was not buried until we arrived. So we went. I said I wanted to go in. I want to go in to the corners where my father is stored, and they said no, don't go. And I said, I don't bury my dad till I kiss him. You're not supposed to do that. I said, you don't tell me what to do. You know whose child I am, So I went in there. When they first brought him out, I fainted, they said. I don't remember. Then it was the beautiful part of it is the body is to be washed and prepped, and usually it's like mummified, but we have clothes.
Embalmed?
Not embalmed. We don't get embalmed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't get embalmed. So like mummified, like they put, like shrouds and things like that. But we had clothes for him. They did do that under, I think, and then they put clothes on him. And my brother said, because we had already paid for somebody else to do it, they said, that's our father. We're going to clean him ourselves. That gave me peace. And then when they were done, I kissed him on the forehead, I remember, and, told him I love him. And the priest came and he said, what are you doing? You're not supposed to touch a dead body. That's the cultural part that I tell you about. That just kind of, So then the priest turned around and he said, in the Bible, there was, I don't remember what verse, but there's a part where they spray oil, scented oil on the body before it's buried. He said, usually I carry perfume. Are you hearing this? He said, I forgot it today. And that's when I knew God was with me. He was with me. He's with me today, and I ran outside. There were, a couple of siblings that refused to go inside. And I said, where is my carry-on? They said, why? I said, I need to get the perfume. They thought I was losing it again. I'm wearing that perfume right now, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still have it. I still have the bottle. I wear it whenever I feel.
That is such a great story, but please go on.
Yeah, so I got the perfume and the priest said, oh, you have perfume? I said, yeah, I took it out of the box. And they said, my brother said, since you were the closest to him, you spray the perfume on him first, and then we'll take turns. So I did. I sprayed it on him, told him how much I love him. He just looked so alive to me, but he's dead, My brothers did it as well. The priest did it, of course. There was a lot of praying, and I wanted my bottle back because I wanted to keep it. And that made a world of a difference. I cried a lot at the morgue. I said corners, but it's at the morgue. I cried a lot at the beginning. Then later on, it was as if God was there with me saying, I didn't do wrong by you. It was as if he's talking to me. I didn't do wrong by you. And this is the God, the Father that my father has told me as a child, love him more than you love me. It hit me. And so, sorry, it's a long answer. So
I'm down for this story. Please go on.
I've been close to God since. There's nothing that I will not discuss with God before making a decision in my life when it's a major life-changing decision. Losing my mom was a bit harder because my parents were married for 67 years. They were, it was an arranged marriage. So they learned to love each other. And she was very sad after he passed. That's her best friend. That's her everything. So I called her every day. I was here. I called her every day. I visited her once or twice a year. But her loss was hard because she didn't die of an illness. It was a sudden death. I think she was just heartbroken, and I think she was just desperately seeking him. And like 7 years, a little over 7 years later, she passed away. Yeah, so that was harder. It took me a moment for God to come through. I couldn't fly to bury my mom, although everybody flew because my passport was due to expire within 6 months. So they said, no, the validity of the passport has to be six months or more. And I couldn't get it renewed fast enough because we're just coming out of COVID. So they were backed up. But I said, you know, God, you don't make mistakes. You don't make mistakes. You didn't make it so that I feel like an outcast because everybody went. My best friend spent time with me, other friends. I don't like big groups, so I say one at a time. I don't want people coming and trying to get me to cry, which culturally they're supposed to. I just said, I want one person at a time. That's it. I can only handle one person at a time. So they came to visit me, spend time with me. I did a lot of praying. I took, bereavement, of course, from work, but I did a lot of praying, a lot of soul searching to understand, okay, this is a lot of loss. It's a lot of loss. And then it helped me understand who is with me and who is against me. That is the beauty of, oh my God. The beauty of loss, you get to see people for who they really are. People who care because you lost someone, or people who are trying to take an opportunity, whether it's to take advantage of you, or just to say things that they feel they can get away with and that you won't remember. Things you don't forget are what was said and what was done during the time that you were mourning. So there are a lot of people that I cut out. My life is even more peaceful. I have more joy.
Interesting.
Because of that. And I don't just cut out relationships. I just tell them, because I don't want people to misunderstand that I'm just having a moody moment. If I know them well enough, I just say, you know what, our paths have gone different ways. So we just need to lose my number. I have no interest. I have no interest in continuing to be friends. And it's peaceful for me to do that. If I know them well enough, it's peaceful for me to have that conversation without blaming them, pointing fingers and say, you said this, you said that. No, it's just, that's it. You don't need to call me on holidays. You don't need to reach out to me. That's it. Yeah.
Wow. People say that they see loved ones in the dream or apparitions, or they hear them and stuff like that. Was that same
a
with
lot.
you?
Oh my God. You have to realize, especially when we were young, we used to tell each other, we were all in the same womb. So who was there first? Who added the furniture? Who messed up my mama's room? We used to have these jokes, right?
Okay.
So we're all connected. Our parents made us. We were all made in the same womb. So you're always connected. I will always hear them. I will always see them. I've seen them in my dreams quite a bit. Sometimes, I love spending time with me. I'm my favorite person. I love spending time with me. Not all the time, but quite a bit, because that's how I do a lot of soul searching. So sometimes I'll go for a ride, or I'll go for a walk and just reach out and just say, I know you probably can't hear me. You're in a better place, no matter what the situation was that you left. At least I got to know you. At least I got to love you. I got to laugh with you. We had jokes, and we're going to meet again anyways, because I'm going to the same place you're going to, And so, yeah, it's, I do often. Like, my mom loved French fries, right? So when we celebrate her annual, rebirthing day, that day,
Yeah.
I love to eat French fries. That was her favorite thing. Her favorite thing. My father was a vegan for like 20 years. So I'll do something vegan, Most of my brothers, the last two brothers, the two oldest ones that passed away, loved helping people. My parents would not have it if you look down on anybody. Absolutely. They will embarrass you in front of the person. My father does not put up with anybody bragging about who they are, because he says, you don't know who you're talking to. You have no idea what they're about. So never talk about your, accomplishments. If they ask you, yes. You don't come out just to kind of, size yourself up to make them feel inferior. He always says the janitor may have a PhD.
Sure.
The CEO could have just gotten there because he's married to someone.
That is so true.
He's related to someone. So you really want to appreciate, get to know people. Get to know people. And so, and do for people. My parents were blessed in their life. And because they always gave, and giving, my mom says, God gives you tenfold. Because what you have, he gave you anyway.
True.
Right? So when you're giving what he gave you, and then he's going to replace it. So my brothers, as you know, most of African countries, you have people working for you or cooking for you and things like that. You have domestic help.
Yeah.
And so the oldest boy would never hire anybody unless they were willing to go to school. You had to put them through school, and so he taught my other brothers that. So the one that most recently died that you know about, he also did the same thing. He used to tutor them, and they were happy, but sometimes they don't stay because they think the grass is greener on the other side. Then they leave. Once they leave, they've been exposed to something that you don't let them back in. And so, quite a few of them he tutored. Even my mom, with the domestic help that she had, he tutored them. He'd come and show them different skills and stuff like that. So my father was all about giving. And my sister recently started a foundation in honor of my parents, just to give back.
That's incredible.
To give back. Yeah, just to honor them. And it's completely funded with the inheritance that my sister and I decided the inheritance that we're getting from what they built for their children in their honor, I'm going to fund it. She says, I'm going to fund it too. And she said, that's my dream. I said, go for it. I'm there for you, So it's important to always value others, as my father would say, but you have to learn how to value others by valuing yourself first, understanding yourself first. Otherwise, you're just talking to other people because you don't have the experience. When you value yourself, then you have the experience. I'm long-winded, you notice.
No. I love it. I love it because there's a human story to how you talk.
Oh.
And there are people that you listen to and you can just listen to them.
Oh. Yeah.
So that's what I get from you. And again, that's one of the reasons I told you to come. So for me, I haven't lost any nuclear family.
Okay.
I've lost a cousin, first cousin, so my mom's sister's child. But I haven't lost siblings or parents or anything. So my friend recently lost her dad, and then within a year, she lost her mom.
Yeah.
And I've known, in fact, we share so much history because I've known her since I guess, so in Nigeria, the way they do the education system, they join middle school and high school together and then some of elementary, but it's like 6 years of education. So for the 6 years of my education, so I've known her since I was like maybe 10. So I've known her for a really long time. She's one of my oldest friends and we're good friends. And I didn't know how to show up for her. It was hard for me because in as much as I knew she was hurting, I couldn't relate because I didn't have the experience. And then I felt guilty not knowing how to relate and not knowing how to show up. And coupled with the fact that we're not in the same country. And she's actually come to see me here in the US when I had my child. She came to see me. So you can imagine how close we are and everything. And before the death, she was also planning to come again. So I felt very helpless. And I know it would sound like I'm making it about me because it's not about me.
I totally am hearing you. Yes.
It's not about me. But I guess hearing you talk is like a third person experience and I'm getting feedback on that. So maybe another thing I should say is, and I know people are different, but how would someone in a generalistic way should you show up for a friend that has lost a loved one? In a generalistic way without, painting the preference and all those things.
I'm going to tell you, you probably showed her so much love and support and you didn't even know it.
I don't know.
Because you're expecting something major, like you have to do something, like were you supposed to cry with her or were you... No. My best friend, we've been friends since high school, a long time. When I lose someone, when outside of my family, she's the first one I call. All she does is just come in, they call me Finu. It's like my nickname. She'll call me Finu, I'm coming. I say, okay. She comes in. All she does is just sit. How much support that gives me. How much love that shows me. When you're mourning, it's not about what you can do. It's about you recognizing that I'm mourning. You could just stand there and just stare at the person. You're recognizing that I'm mourning. That's how I interpret it now. Somebody else may say, nope, I want them to come and fly me out someplace and take me on vacation. I don't know, But all in all, though, it's really about you showing up. She'd call me and say, hey, how are you doing? You ate breakfast? Yeah, okay, just checking. That's it. To me, priceless. Then I have family. They won't even call you. They'll come to your door. They knock and they're screaming. Oh my God. And I'm like, oh, they lost someone too?
Why
are they screaming?
Because I'm Nigerian and we have wailers, that feels very performative to me.
Very. Because there's no tear coming out of their eye. I'm sorry to say, forgive me. Seriously, I'm not looking for a tear. But what I'm doing is just standing there looking at you. I'm like, at that point, like, don't touch me. Because I don't need to cry because this little crocodile tear is not going to do it for me. You just showing up is enough. You just saying, I am here. Like when I lost my brother, you guys just came. You don't know how beautiful that was for me. It's like you guys understood me without understanding me. Without knowing me, I should say. You understood me without knowing me. Your mom came to visit. We had lunch together. For me, mourning is somebody showing up and saying, I know you lost someone. It's not for somebody to show up and make me hurt some more, make me cry. Crying takes a lot out of you.
How would they make you hurt some? So I'm asking this because there are people that are clueless, that they don't know that they're hurting you by the things they say and their actions. So how would you say that they will hurt you some more? What would be those things that they would do?
Oh my goodness, you're going to make me say it? Okay, I'll say it. Somebody who knew my family.
Okay.
I mean, not like a very, very close family friend or anything, but she knew all of our family. By the time I had lost my dad, I remember her. I saw her. She comes up and she hugs me and she's crocodile tears again. I'm like, oh my God, we were walking down the street on Euclid. She's, oh my God, oh my God. I said, what are you doing? You need to like stop. She said, you're right, you're right. You're used to it by now. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I said, I'm used to what by now? Because she saw my composure to mean I'm not mourning. My composure was to let her know, stop acting. Because this little act is not going to make me feel better. And you're in public, people are looking to see, what the heck is going on. And so she said, oh, you're used to it by now. I said, used to what? Well, you lose people over and over again. And then I said, I really don't need to explain myself. Yeah. I said, it's nice seeing you. Oh, I'll see you next time. All of a sudden, it's like everything turned into, well, I said, we should have coffee. That, when she saw that, I was, okay. One of the people that I cut out. Do you see what I mean? Just showing up. Like, I've had people just say, how are you? How are you? That's it. That gets my emotions going. I'm so appreciative because now I know it's genuine. It's not performing. You're genuinely asking, how are you? You're not looking for a reaction out of me. You're not looking for me to, I've already gone through that. The moment I heard the death, I've done the screaming and the putting the pillow on my face and yelling so nobody could hear me. But you're used to it? Wow.
I don't think
How do you get used to death?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
You've
crazy.
shown up for her. I guarantee you. If you ask her, she'll tell you. She came to see. She lost her parents before you.
No, she came to see me before she lost her parents. She came to me 3 years ago or thereabout.
But you guys still communicate?
Oh, yes, we do.
Oh, yeah. She wouldn't have communicated with you if she felt otherwise. Trust me. You were there for her. You didn't even know it. Because you're naturally authentic. Like, I don't know if that's like a phrase, but even though I didn't grow up with you, just like your mom, even though I didn't grow up with her, I know she's real. I don't have to second guess and, do they mean this? No, she's real. You real.
Thank you.
And your boy is real. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And so you were there for her, trust me, without even knowing it.
Okay. Trying to wrap my head around the fact that you were here by yourself, being an immigrant, and then being alone, and all these moving parts.
Yes.
People have conversations where they say being alone is not the same as being lonely.
Absolutely not.
I feel like you would have some points on that, things to share.
Living alone, being alone. I don't have kids. That was intentional. That was a choice I made years ago. I'm not going to explain why, but being alone, first of all, you're not really alone because, like, people say, I have no one around me. And I say, you have you. Are you not someone? I need people around me. You're a person, maybe plural, but I said, you're not good enough. You really have to feel comfortable with you.
That's true.
And this can happen when you're in a relationship or you're married. I know a lot of lonely people who are married, a lot, because they're not comfortable in their own skin. They're waiting for somebody to give them validation for existing, right? And so, do I always like being alone? No, I'm not going to lie. Am I ever lonely? I would say maybe 0.05% of the time, when you come out of a relationship and the person is gone, then you feel, oh my God, I'm so lonely. And then you realize, oh, I got me. You know,
And then
it takes a
sometimes it
moment.
also feels like it's boredom.
Yes.
Like you're bored.
Yep. And boredom comes from you not being there for yourself. It's recognizing yourself and that if you had nobody else to go with you where you want to go, what is the reason that you wouldn't go? Because I don't have anybody to talk to. You have you. Sometimes your thoughts are good enough, right?
True.
You could talk to strangers. I've gone on small field trips. I love doing that. I don't do it all the time, but I love doing that, where you meet people and you're talking, you're chit-chatting and sharing. I've gone on I used to love taking long drives. Where are you going? I don't know, wherever my car stops, you know?
Okay.
And you talk to people. Some people who are out there are desperate for people. Like they gravitate towards you, you know? And I remember going to the ocean beach, took my own food, drove to the ocean beach in San Francisco, all the way down Geary. And I decided, you know, let me just look at this ocean. It's beautiful. It's a blessing. I have a car that brought me here. I have food that I can eat. I have lungs that breathe and work. I don't have health issues. You know, I have family. And I remember this old Italian man. Hey, that's what he said. Hey, how are you? This thick Italian accent. I said, I'm doing good. And I'm like, oh, do I know him? And he said, come sit here, come sit here. How is the husband? How are the kids? He got me mixed up. Was I going to tell him that's not me? No. I don't know. He could be going through dementia. He just needed somebody to talk to. We sat there and chit-chatted. And I said, well, I'm going to go. He said, you take care of yourself. I'll see you. I said, yes, of course. You too. I know that made his day. That definitely made mine. Well, if I was to say, you don't know me, you know, or I sit down and said, what? I don't have children. It kind of like you're telling him, you're wrong. You know, it's just like, what would you lose?
Also, I feel like you close yourself off the blessing that you and him received after the experience.
Yes. And sometimes God wants you to intervene. Maybe God needed you to do something like that. Maybe that guy was maybe he lost someone. He was just like, oh, how long have you been coming here again? And I said, oh, it's been a long time. I don't know. I go there every other year. I love that beach. So I go every other year, but I don't really go on the beach. I just go on the walk path. And I always love taking spaghetti, homemade spaghetti. That's in a thermos of tea. And it put a smile on his face. Sometimes when you ask me the first question, joy, that is joy. You know, you put a smile on somebody's face. You did that because you honored you and you honored him and you honored life, you know? And so lonely is homemade.
Okay.
It's homemade.
I'm lonely. I'm writing it. Lonely is homemade.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Written by Tsion.
It is. It is. Not every recipe is the same, but it's homemade. Definitely. And a lot of the people who are, you know, who say that they're lonely, you know, a lot of them go through depression and things like that. It's because they're looking for somebody to show them who they are, what they need. It's sometimes you have to do for yourself, not all the time, to understand how much you love you. How can you love someone if you don't love you? You know, that's why I don't like the word love.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's like when somebody says they love you, it's like, yeah, respect me. That means a lot more than love.
Okay. Yeah.
Love can be temporary, right?
Growing up, I was very out there. Out there being that I wanted to always go out to hang out with friends.
Yes.
So social butterfly. I had too many friends.
Yes.
Too many friends. My mom complained from morning till night. Like she used to say to me that she would say it in our language. Which translates to, is there a needle on the couch that makes you not want to stay in the house, like to sit down on the couch and stay. Like the little, every time you sit down, it pricks you and then you jump up and you're out. She would say that about me almost every other day.
Yep. Yep.
But now I relish the time when I'm by myself.
Yes.
When they've gone to bed.
Yep.
And I can hear myself think.
Yes.
I can be lazy and maybe watch a movie or read a book.
Yep.
I relish the times when, because now I'm trying to be more conscious of my health and taking myself seriously. So during my breaks, I go on long walks.
Yes.
And when I do the long walks, I just, ponder on certain things.
Yes.
And I relish it because I can hear myself think. Like there's just that. There was a time I think I was on vacation or so, and my sister called. My son was at school. And I said, can you hear that? She said, what? I said, silence.
Yes.
Silence. Like,
yes.
And I was happy being home, just reading my book.
Yes.
Journaling.
Yep.
Like, so it's funny that back then, that's that girl, and then she has grown up to be this person.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I'm still the life of the party.
Oh yeah.
When I go out, I'm like, oh yeah,
exactly.
well, like, But even going out, when that happens, there are some times when I withdraw to myself, and then I'm just, thinking about different things, or I'm having conversations with myself, like you said, or I'm just absolving everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to put this into words. There is sometimes when I feel like, okay, I'm lonely, and then I crave attention from, like the male. I tell myself, are you sure you're not just bored? Because when I actually maybe go on the dates or stuff like that, and you have those conversations, you're like, don't impress upon yourself that you just want to go into something, because it could just be that you are bored.
Yes. Yes.
So it's finding that whole balance, I would say. But anyway, I jumped into a different conversation.
No. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. Because it's like you defined who you are and how you function by the people that are around you. And being by yourself gives you a different meaning. And you were just trying to kind of like test the waters and find out what that is. That's how we get to where we are. It's constant question, constant search of who we are. And we think sometimes like, oh, okay, I got it. No, that's a start. That's like you got the title of the book, now you got to write the book, right?
Yeah, that's true. Did grief make you more guarded with people, or did it make you softer?
It didn't make me guarded, but it made me appreciative of life in general, seeing people for who they are. Before it was, it's just like, okay, this person, this and that. But when I meet people, I literally observe. So, I'm very talkative. And so a lot of times, and I'm a high energy person.
Oh, it shows.
Very talkative. And so a lot of people mistake that as you're also not grounded. At the same time that I'm talkative and energetic, I'm very grounded. I'm observing my surroundings. I'm observing people I'm talking to. I'm looking to see, are they carrying negative energy or positive energy? Are they, in other words, do they appear? You can't know anybody overnight.
That is true.
But it's not what they say. It's what they don't say I listen to. It's their behavior, how they talk to others that I listen to, how they carry themselves. And I know other people judge me by that as well. And I don't have a way of presenting myself to other people. I am as I am. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to accept everybody. But it's made me, it's not guarded.
Intuitive?
It's more aware. Because, okay, this is going to sound horrible. Oh, that's okay. Because I don't, your friends you lose, you're going to mourn. I just don't want to mourn for everybody. I want to mourn for those who are worthy of mourning,
That I'm gonna be a Gen Z right now and say clock it. Yes. Yes. Oh yes. Even though that's not my age bracket, but yeah, I'm gonna say clock it. How is it this? I don't even know how to do.
That's like my niece, she does this. Yeah.
So yes.
Are you worthy of it? And look at it as when you get in a relationship, it's like, is it worthy for me to spend time with this person, or he just looks good enough? What is his character like? What is this person like? You have to know the people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think like, are you worthy of mourning? But I'm like, are you worthy of my energy and my time?
That is true.
Yeah.
Have you ever caught yourself preparing for loss even while things are going well?
Yes. Oh, I did that a lot at the beginning. So, okay, who am I going to lose next? Who am I going to lose next?
Like a Russian roulette.
Yeah. It's like, but I had to come to terms. And the process of me questioning who am I going to lose next, I'm losing myself because I'm spending so much time mourning something that hasn't even happened.
In fear.
Yeah. And it's like, God is the only one that has gone to tomorrow and seen what awaits us. That's why he says, live for today. I'm thinking about tomorrow. Like something happened and I was thinking about tomorrow, and that tomorrow never happened. But look how much energy and time I spent being silly,
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I can listen to you go on and on.
Like, you're so sweet.
No, seriously. I've also come to a realization that I like listening to people that are way older than me. Their perspective on life.
Yes.
And people also younger.
But life doesn't disappoint. It doesn't disappoint. Yes, younger people could have, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Younger people can have wisdom, but it's nothing like the wisdom you'd get from an older person. Because they've been through it, been there, done that, wrote the book, as the saying goes. And so definitely.
There's an adage or proverb for it where it says that what a child will see when they climb a tree, an adult would have seen it sitting down.
Oh, yeah.
Or something within those lines.
Yeah.
I hope I got it right. But
yes.
There's foresight in the experience, in the lived experiences.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
How'd you feel?
I feel good. I wasn't nervous. I was nervous at the first day you asked me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go look at that. Let me see what it is. I've never done this before. But I also knew you, and I knew your mom.
Aww.
And I knew NATO. And so you guys always make me feel comfortable and peaceful. And so that part helped a lot. Yeah, being peaceful. But yeah, well, it's wonderful. Now I'm just working on me.
It shows.
I'm working on me. Yeah. I go to my workouts 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah. I get on the coach's nerves. But we laugh.
It's hearing you speak. There's so much life that comes out from you.
Oh.
And even though, like you said, you've had your losses, but there's purpose that we're birthed through that loss. And I'm honored to know you. Oh. And I guess I should say thank you to my mom too, because it was through her that I got to meet you. And
I met her in the lobby. Yeah.
Yes, my mom is, she's very friendly as well.
Yes.
So if you were going to talk to me as an auntie now, a big auntie, but indirectly to, the audience, what would be the 2 key things you would tell them?
About?
Life, loss,
Well, I can tell you something I learned recently. Okay, first thing is about the advice that people give you.
Mm-hmm.
People give you advice based on their life experience and based on the advices that they received. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. Some people depend too much on other people's advice and they don't tune into their internal self, And so when you're asking for advice, you're not asking for the blueprint of how to tackle that specific, whether it be in relationships. Well, I never believe in discussing relationships with anybody outside of the relationship, but take everything with a grain of salt. What a person, like, you ask me for advice, what I tell you is based on my life experience and may or may not work for you. The same thing, I may ask you for advice and it'll be based on your life experience. So I take parts and pieces of what people tell me and I create my own. I weave in my own kind of like plan to solve whatever issue that is that I have. Actually, I have three things. The second one, that's one. The second one is no one is thinking about you as much as you think they're thinking about you.
That is true.
They may be focused that moment because their life is messed up. They just needed direction. They go on social media and they blast people. They're not really thinking about anybody. They're really misdirecting their anger, frustration of their own life. Take that with a grain of salt. Seriously. And I had to learn that. It took me a while, although I didn't care about what people think about me, but it was a moment in time when I did. And I realized, okay, do I care? They're not really thinking. Sometimes like you say like, oh, you said this, you said that. I did, So yeah. The third thing is I tell all my nieces and nephews and I beg them, get to know you. Please get to know you. Not the way your husband or your wife or your children know you. Get to know you. You're the only one who can accept or reject anything about you. You're the only one who can truly love you unconditionally. Husbands and wives could divorce you.
That's true.
They could cheat on you. Children gonna go on, get married. You're gonna be left with you at the end. If that happens, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything ends in a negative. But I'm just saying, don't predict what's gonna happen. Just learn to love you. That's the best gift we can give ourselves. And what does it mean to learn to love you? Years ago, every morning I'd get up before I wash my face. I look in the mirror and I say, "How are you? What's going on? Why are you so disappointed? Are you disappointed? Let's talk." I mean, like your mouths are moving. You're talking to yourself like, let's talk. What's happening? And believe it or not, you end up having these conversations. You're saying it loud enough to where you hear and you say, that person who said this and I didn't like it. Okay, let's work around that. And stuff like that, and sometimes I just cry. I feel like crying. I just look at the mirror and just cry. Guess what? You just cleared out your tear ducts. Now you're ready for life. So I did that for a long time. I do that every so often. Get to know you. Getting to know you, like my sister and her marriage. I said, if marriage was like yours, I'd be married. They respect each other. They love each other, but they're independently themselves. She can go on a trip with me. He can go on a trip with his brothers. And, everything comes together. But at the same time, if I went to go ask her, who are you? The first thing is not going to be, I'm his wife. She's going to tell you who she is, And so get to know you. And I owe that to my parents, my father. Who are you? And I'm like, Dad, don't you know who I am? Who are you? I know who I am. Don't you know? You're not telling me who you are. You're telling me, don't you know? The part of you that I know, you're not telling me. If there's somebody else different, I owe that to them. I'm blessed and I'm glad my sister did the foundation to continue honoring them and blessing everybody else. Not everybody is fortunate enough to have, parents, both parents, not fortunate enough to have a father, coming from a culture where women are second class. My father made sure that my sister and I were independent, to the point where my mother started off as a housewife, ended up being an entrepreneur. He supported her, built her own house, her own. They have their own. She built her own because she said, I did it, all because he's supportive of it. So does everybody get that? No. But love what you have. Love the parents you have. Well, love is kind of, you know what I mean? Respect the parents and respect the people around you. Don't dismiss anyone, no matter what their level is, what their educational level is, what they do for a living. You'd be surprised. The little bit of nugget that they can give you, that would literally fulfill your life.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
Talking to you, listening to you is powerful.
Oh.
And I'm speechless. So I'm just going to say thank you so much for giving me this honor, for sharing your time, your wisdom, your aura.
Oh, thank you.
I'm speechless.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She has taken all the words. I don't have any words, but I'm just going to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I know for a fact that you'd have taken a lot from what she said. And like she said, loneliness, what? No, I'm getting it wrong. No. She said, lonely is homemade. Not every recipe is the same. I had to write it down. So see, and that's by Tsion Girma.
Yes.
Am I saying it right?
Yes.
So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. So like, subscribe, share, and all the awesomeness. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm gonna go. Bye. Thank you.